Hello everybody, and welcome to this live class. I'm Christian. I'm here to answer any questions that you have about English. So please ask me. I hope that the quality of the video is good today. I hope you can hear me clearly. I hope the audio is good. And yeah, I hope today that you can learn a lot of things with me, that we can learn things together. So ask me any questions you have. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to teach. Hello to the people that are in class now. Hello to Pris, Dennis, Cherry, Felipe, and Mr. Anderson. I don't actually know how many people in total are watching, but wherever you are in the world, and whatever your level of English, welcome to class. I'm very happy to have you all as students. So yeah, also you can ask me any questions about English language. You can ask me any questions about English culture. You can ask me anything you like. I will answer any questions, but probably not any questions about mathematics, because I am very bad at mathematics. But any questions about English you want, I'm here. It is very, very cold here today in Spain. I live in the north of Spain, so it's not flamenco and sangria and bulls. I live in the north, which is very green. There's lots of rain, and we have very cold winters. Okay, I have a question here from somebody who's asking me if they can ask me something, but the problem is that that the person's name, your name is in Chinese characters, and I can't read Chinese, so I don't know your name. I'm sorry, but yes, please ask me any question that you like about English. Also, I have I have another person here saying that that they think I'm a good teacher, but also I don't know how to pronounce their name, because it's written in the Cyrillic alphabet, and I can't read the Cyrillic alphabet. So you have to help me by putting your name in English in the Roman alphabet so I can read it. I'm sorry. I need to learn how to read Chinese and other languages. Okay. They're Korean. Okay. I don't know anything about the Korean language. Is Korean the same in North Korea and South Korea, or is it very different because of the separation of the two countries? Tell me. I would like to know if North Korean and South Korean are very different. Okay. So I have the first question here. What is the difference between it is and there is? Okay. Okay, so here you can see the example sentence that Pris asked about. She asked, what's the difference between it is a pizza on the table and there is a pizza on the table? Okay, so you know that in English we have a rule that if you have a verb, you must have a subject. So some languages, it's not necessary, not obligatory to put the subject of the sentence. Okay, you can put only the verb. Lots of languages are like this, but in English, because we don't have a verb conjugation for every person, then it's obligatory in English to put the subject. So, for example, in English, I cannot put is a pizza because I don't know if it's he is a pizza, she is a pizza, or it is a pizza. Okay, so it's obligatory to put the subject. Okay, but sometimes a sentence doesn't have a true subject. Like for example. It is raining, okay? It is raining. So here we have the verb, okay? And the subject, okay? But the question is, what is it? Well, in reality, it means nothing, okay? It's called a dummy subject, okay? A dummy is like a mannequin, okay? It's a dummy. Which means that this subject, it doesn't mean anything. It's not it like, it is raining. Well, what is raining? Well, nothing. The sky, it doesn't make sense. We use it because it's obligatory to put a subject, okay? But in reality, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, this is the first thing, okay? But then in English, we have a very special verb, which is there is and there are, okay? And this verb is special, okay, because it is a special type of the verb to be. In reality, there is and there are is exactly the same as the verb to be. Okay? Now, this is answering your question. Okay, so to answer your question, the difference between these two is that the second one, there is a pizza, is basically we're using the verb to be. So we're saying, is a pizza. There exists a pizza on the table. A pizza exists on the table. A pizza is on the table. But this one here is different. Okay, it's different because here we have the dummy subject, it. Okay? But what is it? It doesn't make sense, okay? Because this is the true subject of the sentence. A pizza is on the table. A pizza is on the table. Subject. This it, you cannot repeat the subject. You cannot have two subjects, okay? So this first sentence is incorrect, okay? Hopefully, Pris, that answers your question. Hopefully you understand. Please tell me if you do not understand, and I will explain more, okay? For me, this is very strange, because I can communicate with you, but you can't communicate with me if you don't understand. It's difficult for me, it's strange. Okay, so, okay, your name is Konstantin. Okay, I think that I can see maybe in the Cyrillic alphabet, Konstantin with the K, I see the K. Okay, well, anyway, welcome, Konstantin. Okay, Red Panda is telling me that South Korean and North Korean is the same language. But I'm interested because you have the division, a strong division between South Korea and North Korea. I imagine that probably there is a lot of difference in maybe vocabulary between the two. Do you think you would have problems communicating with somebody from the north of Korea and the south? Please tell me more about this. I'm very fascinated about this. Okay. Okay, so Sibel, I don't know if your name is Sibel or Chibelle or Sibelle. I'm sorry, I don't know. She's saying that she doesn't know when to use did plus verb or the verb in the past. Ah, okay. Good question, good question. So, I did go to Rome. Okay, so here is an example sentence. I did go to Rome and I went to Rome. So technically it's the same, right? Because we have an auxiliary indicating the past. So go in the past. And then here we have the verb go conjugated directly. So what's the difference between did go and went? Okay, the difference is that normally in English we don't use auxiliaries for affirmative sentences, for positive sentences. Normally in English we only use auxiliaries for questions and negatives, okay? For example, this is perfect, okay? Because we have a negative, perfect. And here, did I go to Rome also is perfect because it's a question. But this one is not very natural because normally we don't use auxiliaries in a positive or an affirmative sentence, okay? This is the most normal, okay? This is perfect. But we use this when we want to emphasize this, okay? So imagine that last week you went to Rome. Okay, last week you went to Rome. But today your friend says, you didn't go to Rome. You have never been to Rome. And you say, yes, I did go to Rome. I did. Okay, so we use the auxiliary for emphasis. Okay, but this is the only reason that you use this. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Please tell me if you don't understand, and I will explain. Okay. Okay, so okay. Somebody is asking me when they use I got it and I get it. Well, Okay, so the difference between the two really is that this is in the present and this one is in the past. Get, got, get, got. That is the that is the only difference. But what does it mean if you say I got it? Normally it means that you understand something. Okay? To get something is a synonym for to understand. So imagine I'm explaining something in English. I'm explaining, say, I got it, I understand. Or I get it, okay? Present and past. This is the only difference. Hopefully that answers your question. Please tell me if you don't understand, okay? Okay, I have a question here from Arlete in Brazil, who wants to know what part of English is most important, grammar or vocabulary? The truth is that I think that grammar is a very small part of a language. I think that it's possible to focus on grammar too much. A lot of people study grammar, grammar exercises, and their grammar is perfect. You can give them a grammar activity and perfect. But they cannot communicate. Okay? Now, the question is, why did humans develop this beautiful art of language? Why did the human species start to communicate? Why? The reason is because we want to communicate, to understand each other. Okay? So for me, the most important part of language is not grammar or vocabulary or maybe different types of grammatical structures. That's not really important to me, okay? The important thing is that my students can communicate, okay? They can go to the airport and communicate with the person at the airport. They can go to a restaurant and order food. Or maybe they can go and do business in English, okay? So, I think that really you should focus on this communication aspect. Reading, writing, speaking, listening, okay? Grammar is, a part of language, but it's not really that important, in my opinion, okay? The number one thing, your focus, your emphasis should be on communication. So think about your objective. Like, what do you want? Do you want to go on holidays and travel in English, or do you want to do business in English, or do you want to maybe play online video games in English? Well, focus on that objective. Learn the English you need to learn for this objective, okay? And don't worry so much about grammar and vocabulary, and this comes naturally with time, okay? Okay. Please tell me if you disagree. Please tell me if you disagree. I like to have a discussion about things. So maybe you think grammar is really important. I don't know. For me, no. But okay. Laura Soleil is asking me about adjective order in English. Woo! This is a fantastic question. I love this question. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something that maybe you think is bad, that maybe you think is embarrassing for me, okay? The truth is that I don't know I haven't memorized the order of adjectives in English. I don't know, okay? Because I think it's like material, country, color. I don't know, okay? I don't know. Because the reason I don't know is because when you are learning English, okay, and you want to say a sentence with multiple adjectives, it is impossible for you to think, okay, I have a color, I have a fabric, I have a country of origin, I have, wait, 1 second, wait, and then I have to, so it's a red, French, this is impossible, okay? And the people that you are speaking to will, will become very bored, okay? So the truth is that you need to learn this by absorbing the language, by speaking to people, okay? And with time, naturally your adjectives will go in the right order, okay? So, you know, when you listen to people speak, you will start to realize that they say a big beautiful car, not you know, or a big red car, not the other way, not a red big car. Okay, but this is something that happens naturally. But there is one easy rule. Okay, one easy rule. And the rule is that in English we always put the opinion adjectives before the fact adjectives. So, for example, if you have a person who is beautiful, well, this is your opinion. Okay, so it goes here. But if the girl is very tall, okay, she's like a giant, this is a fact, so it's here. So this is something easy that you can use every day. A beautiful, tall girl, not a tall, beautiful girl, okay? But the other adjective order, don't worry, okay? It will come with time. If you say a green French big car, maybe it's not perfect, but I understand you. And with time, you can fix this problem. Okay, but here's an easy rule to start. Okay? Okay. Okay, next question. Okay, Pris said that she understood my explanation. Excellent. I'm very happy. Okay. Okay, I'm just looking to see if there's more. There's some more questions here. Hello to Brazil. Hello to Russia as well. There's a person here whose name is My Life in Australia, and he or she says they can't identify the Australian slam. I don't know what you mean. Could you explain more, please? Okay, so Cibele, Cibele, you're Brazilian. How do you pronounce your name? Cibele? Are you a man or a woman? I don't know. Is this a masculine or a feminine name? I have no idea. Cibele. Cibele. It sounds maybe masculine. Tell me, I don't know. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, chalk. Okay. Okay, so what is your name? David or David Sabuk. Cool name. I like your name. My dad's name is David, so David is a good name. he is asking what is the difference between both and between the two. Really, there's no difference. They are identical, okay? Because both is two, and the two is two, so it's the same. Maybe for me, this is a little bit more posh, a little bit more formal, and this is a little bit more informal. But for me, the meaning is the same. I can't think of any difference. Okay. 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 I'm just going to look to see some more questions here. Okay. So, person. I think your name is Ziki Lee. Ziki. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. She's asking, what is the meaning of the phrase "not too easy"? For example, this puzzle okay, so she's asking about here, not too easy. What does it mean? She's asking if it is Australian slang. Well, no, actually, I think that a phrase like this, not too easy, is typical in all of the English-speaking countries. Okay, so American English, British English, Australian English. And it is a special type of sarcasm. Do you know what that means? Sarcasm? Sarcasm is when we say the opposite of something which is true. Okay, that's not a perfect definition of sarcasm, but basically it's a type of humor with irony. Okay, humor with irony. So this puzzle is not too easy. Okay, we are using a negative as to be funny. Okay, because really, this puzzle is difficult. This means the same thing. Okay, they mean exactly the same thing. So here we have a positive adjective, and here we're using the negative not with easy to be funny. Okay, it's funny. It's funny for English people. Maybe it's not very funny for you, but you can use this in lots of ways. Like, for example, we're saying this restaurant is not too bad. So really, we're saying the restaurant is good. So with the not, we're saying that this adjective is the opposite. So not bad is good, not easy is difficult, not expensive is cheap. Okay, so it's just a different way of using an adjective that is very common in all types of English. So you should try this. You should in your next conversation try to use this technique. Use a positive adjective with the negative, like if it's very cold, you can say, "It's not too hot today." Hilarious. English people are so funny. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so Marco Albuquerque. I think this one. I think the pronunciation is good. Was asking the difference between I was working and I had been working. Okay. I Okay, so these are the two example sentences that Marco gave. Okay, so I was working when and I had been working when. So what's the difference? Okay, well let's think about verb tenses in English. Let's think about them in an abstract way, okay? In a very big, global way, okay? And I want you to think that all of the continuous tenses, all of the progressive tenses in English, okay, with the tenses with ing, they all mean the same thing, okay? If you see the ing, this means that you are talking about that moment. You're talking about something happening in that moment. Okay? So imagine now, I am teaching a class in this moment. Okay? I am living in Spain. Okay? So at this moment. And in the future, with ing, you're talking about a moment. Like, at 3 o'clock in the future, I will be working. So I'm thinking about 3 o'clock. I'm thinking about the moment in the future. Okay? And here in the past, that means that when the person arrived or when something happened, you were working. You were in that moment, you were working. Okay? So, this one, I had been working. This is the past perfect. Okay? This means that this action happened before another action. This one. So that means that this action is finished because it happened before this action. The past perfect in English always relates to an action that happened after. Okay? So the difference is that in the first sentence, you were working. In the moment, you were working. But in this sentence, you had finished working. You worked before the person came in. But at that moment, when the person came in, you weren't working. I hope that answers your question. Please tell me if you need me to explain more about the progressive tenses or about past perfect or anything, okay? Tell me if you don't understand. Okay. Okay, so Kubra Okur was telling me that she has some problems with articles and prepositions. Could you be more specific? Like, exactly what problems do you have? Do you mean that you forget to use the prepositions and the articles, or you don't know when to use them? Or please be more specific and I will try to help you, okay? I have another person here asking me, where am I from? Yes, I'm from Australia originally. But I haven't lived in Australia for a long time. I lived in Australia, and then I lived in England, and now I live and I work here in Spain. Beautiful, very, very cold winter Spain. Um, okay, so I'm looking for another question here. So yes, Laura is telling me that it's very common in Spain, and yes, it's common in my experience that Spanish children have grammar up to here. Their grammar is perfect, but they have problems communicating. Yes, I agree, Laura. I think that the system needs to change to focus more on communication. Okay, focus more on communication. Okay. She's saying that also people feel embarrassed about speaking. Um, this is something that I would like to talk about a little bit. Okay, is that this is not my personal opinion. Okay, this is scientific fact. If you are a shy person, a timid person, a person who doesn't like to be in crowds in social situations, if you're very shy, then it will be more difficult for you to learn a language. Because in order to learn a language well, you have to interact. Okay? Number one, you have to interact a lot. And number two, you have to not be afraid of making mistakes. This is really important, okay? When you are learning a language, you must make a lot of mistakes. A lot. The more mistakes you make, the better you will learn a language. So, as your teacher, as your YouTube teacher, I want you to go outside and make a lot of mistakes, okay? I made a lot of mistakes when I was learning Spanish. Every day I make terrible mistakes when I speak Spanish. But I'm always learning, okay? And, students who come to class and they are afraid to speak, they want to speak every sentence perfectly, they don't advance, okay? You have to be brave and you have to make mistakes. So you need to find a good teacher or a good speaking partner where you feel totally comfortable, where you feel like you can make mistakes and say silly things and laugh at yourself, and it's okay. Okay? But if you want to improve your level of any language, you must try to remove your fear of speaking. It's okay to make mistakes. It's good to make mistakes. Okay? Okay. So someone was asking me about Australian culture. I'm not going to take a long time to answer this question, but really, this is my opinion. Okay, Australian culture doesn't really exist. Okay, because Australia is a very, very young country. Australia is only 200 years old. I mean, the Egyptian culture has been around for centuries, hundreds and hundreds of years. Australia, 200 years. It's nothing. It's this, okay? So Australian culture is a mix of Irish culture, English culture, and now a lot of people from Asian countries, Southeast Asia, and also from Eastern Europe, Croatia, Bulgaria, and it's a really complicated mix of cultures. So I think that it's probably more English than Asian, but I think at the moment, honestly, Australian culture is very difficult to define. I think maybe in another 200 years, there will be a pure Australian culture. But at the moment, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay. No, I do not live in Australia. I I live and work in Spain. My family lives in Australia, so I go to Australia to visit my family, but no, I don't live in Australia. Okay, so okay, Cibele is a feminine name, so Cibele, Cibele, feminine. I'm sorry, Cibele. I thought you were a man. I'm sorry. Okay. So Kelly Kess was asking me, how do you pronounce no? How do you pronounce no? Well, it's really simple. Okay. So in this case, the O is exactly the same as the alphabet. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay, so it's O. So you can see I have a big circle with my lips. Okay, but it's a diphthong, which means it has two sounds. O. You see, I have the movement in my mouth. O. O. At the beginning, my mouth is more open, and then it closes. Okay, the sound changes. No. No. The same as a letter. O. Okay? Hopefully that helps. Some people say nah, especially Australians, nah, which is different. And obviously Americans might say nah. Okay, so depends on the region, but correct standard English pronunciation, O. Okay? Okay, let's have a look at some more questions. Okay, so I have a question. Somebody's asking, okay. Okay, what is the difference between I hope you pass your exam and I wish you pass your exam? Because, you know, maybe hope and wish, they're similar, right? They're talking about something that something imaginary that you want, yeah? Now, the thing is that this sentence is not correct, okay? Here, hope we use directly with a verb. Okay, so I hope you pass the exam. I hope that it rains. I hope that he arrives at 10 o'clock, etc., etc. But wish is different, okay? Wish, we have to, here, normally we have to use a preposition, okay? Like, for example, I wish for an easy life. Okay? I wish for. Okay? This is one possibility. Or we have to use a conjunction. For example, I wish that. Okay? I wish that. Directly with the subject, no, it's not possible. Okay? So hopefully you understand the difference between wish and hope. They have different grammatical structures, okay, different. This one we can use directly with a subject and a verb. This one we need to use with a conjunction, okay, or with a preposition, okay. Okay. Um, okay, so someone who is living in Australia was asking about the informal contractions that we use in Australia, like um, so yeah, because in Australia, people are very lazy. No, no. Instead of saying afternoon, people say arvo. And this is something which is in all types of English, so British English, American English, but it's very common in Australian English. And yes, I think similar to other regional vocabulary for specific regions, like Texas vocabulary or London vocabulary or vocabulary from Indian vocabulary. You have to take some time to learn this vocabulary. But yeah, I think that you just need to take some time. Online, you can find some really good dictionaries of Australian slang, okay, of Australian words like this, okay, afternoon, arvo, service station, servo, okay. But this is something that with time you will learn. Don't worry, okay, don't worry. Okay. And Antonio, you are absolutely correct, okay, when you said that that some English dialects, for example British English, we don't pronounce the R. So and your example was perfect. So in British English, this word here, car, we don't pronounce the R. The R we eliminate. So the pronunciation is car, car. Whereas in American English, they would say car, and they would make the tongue position, car. Okay? So, okay, so, sorry, there are a lot of questions. I'm looking to find some questions that I can answer, because we only have 10 minutes remaining in the class. Wow, 1 hour passes very quickly. Okay, how often do I do this live class? I do the live class once per week. But the good news is that and you are the first people to know this, because this is a secret YouTube live event, that starting from next week, I will try to upload videos every day about English, okay? I will try to upload short videos every day, so that we can have a conversation. You can ask me questions and I can answer them the next day. Okay, so hopefully you will see more of me every day. Okay. 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 Yes. Fibele, I'm sorry that you're a woman. Okay. And you're not Italian. You're Brazilian. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Ziki asked me, is it okay, so is it the elderly is, or the elderly or the elderly are? Okay, well, in this case, if you say the elderly, Okay? This would be an uncountable noun. An uncountable noun. So we are talking about elderly people. All of the elderly people. Okay? It's a noun. If you want to use and also, so it's uncountable, so that means it's plural. Okay? Are, right? Now, this one here, if you want to use is, okay, this is an adjective. An adjective. So the elderly what? The elderly man. Okay, good. So you can see this is singular. So when you use singular, it must be an adjective, because elderly with plural is a noun. Okay? So elderly is interesting because it could be a noun or an adjective. Okay. Okay. Yes, Riyadi has asked me a very, very good question. Now, what is the difference between the pronunciation of can and can't? Ah, fantastic question. And this is a really important aspect of English pronunciation. Okay, so the affirmative, okay, the affirmative sound, because yes, you can, okay, it's happy. But this one, because it's negative, it's sad. Okay, and this is the best way to remember the pronunciation. Okay, so can is happy. Okay, I have my mouth open, huh? And I have my cheeks, huh? Like this. I'm happy. Look, can, mouth open, can, cheeks, Okay, happy. Can't is sad. So my face is relaxed. My jaw is relaxed. Okay? And my expression, my tongue, everything is relaxed. Can't. Okay? So the sound is totally different. Can, can't. Okay? So hopefully that helps you to see the difference, and it's a big difference, because when I'm listening to your sentence, and I'm a native speaker, this is not important. Okay, the T, the difference is here in the vowel, so it's very important you pronounce this correctly. Okay, can, can't. Oh God, I'm not a strange person, I promise. Okay, okay, okay. So Vivek Tiwari has asked me, what is the difference between been and being? Okay. Okay, been and being. What is the difference? It's a very big difference, a very important difference. This in English is the participle. Okay, God, I'm using a lot of chalk. Okay, the participle. So we use this for the perfect tenses, present perfect, future perfect, past perfect. And we use it to make the passive as well. Okay? It's the participle. Being is the gerund. Okay? So we use this to make the continuous tenses. I am being, he is being, they are being. So it's totally different. Being with the perfect tenses and being with the progressive or the continuous tenses. They are not the same, okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Please tell me if you don't understand. Okay. Antonio wants me to explain relative clauses. The problem is that will take maybe 10 minutes, and I don't have time to do that. I'm sorry, but I will make a video for you about relative clauses, okay? I promise. I promise. Okay. Let's have a look for another question here. Okay. Dimitri was asking if I can help with the IELTS exam. If I was your teacher, I could help you. Like, we could sit down and we could work on your problems. But on YouTube, really, I don't think I can help you very much. I think that you need to find a good teacher who knows your problems, who can help you to fix your problems, and you need to study hard. Study really hard, okay? And then you will get a good score in the exam, okay? I promise. So Dennis was telling me that when he speaks, he stutters a lot. Great word, Dennis. Great word. Stutter. Stutter means that when you're speaking, you repeat things like I went to the shop, for example. This is a stutter, okay? And this is perfectly normal when you are learning a new language. I think that you're talking about only when you speak in English, right? I think. The reason is because your brain is working very, very hard to remember vocabulary, grammar, word order, pronunciation. Your brain is at maximum capacity. And so sometimes your brain cannot continue with this much work and your mouth goes okay? It's normal. And with time, when your brain is more accustomed to speaking English, the more English you speak, the stutter will disappear. Okay, so don't worry, okay? And I don't think that anybody will think it's bad. I don't think that anybody will think that this is a problem when they're communicating with you, okay? And if they do think it's a problem, then they're an idiot, and don't worry about them, okay? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to look for one final question because unfortunately it is 2 o'clock. This afternoon I have a lot of classes to teach and I have to go. But I'm going to look for one final question here. So, okay. Okay, so Stephen asked, what is the difference between the zero conditional and the first conditional? Okay, final question. Well, I'll put 0. Okay, the difference between the zero conditional and the first conditional is that the zero conditional is something that is always true. It's something that is true. For example, if you drink a lot of beer, you get drunk. Okay, it's true. Or if you go into space, you are an astronaut. Okay, it's 100% true, always true. But the first conditional is different because the first conditional only means that something is probable. Ah. Which means that maybe it's more than 50% likely, but not 100%. It's probable. Like, for example, tomorrow, if it rains, we will not have a barbecue. Tomorrow, I don't know. Will it rain? Will it not rain? I don't know. Is it 100%? I don't know. Okay? 100% true? Probable. Guys, I'm really sorry, but the time has come. I have to go. But I just want to say thank you very much to everyone for watching. I really enjoyed answering your questions, and I want you to know that you, all of you, are the reason that every day I come to work. And all of your comments and your questions, they are my motivation for getting up every day and being a teacher. So thank you very much for coming to this class. And as I said before, I will be uploading more videos in the future. So please, on Facebook or on YouTube, you can ask me any questions and I will try to answer them, okay? So everybody, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in class. Bye.